This video deals with the position of the left hand and how to get the left hand fingers. This is, of course, I'm talking as a right-handed player, and we get our left hand fingers to play on the guitar frets. This video, of course, complements the other video that I posted regarding right hand techniques. So the first thing that we always come across in our very early stages of playing notes is exactly how do we get a good sound and how do we hold the left hand to get a nice clear note, for example like this. Okay. Instead of, if I exaggerate it a little bit, but often we hear this when we're just learning to play the guitar. Okay, a buzzy sound, it's not clear. And also the nylon strings to younger children, they're a bit big, although they are softer than the steel string electric guitars to play. They do feel a little bit uncomfortable until the technique is just developed correctly. So this is what this video will do. We'll look at several notes. The first note that I just played is note A, and generally in most tutor books seems to be the first fretted book that students will play. Now, the first thing I want to do before anything else, I just want to show you one specific thing that if you're helping your children at home looking at this video, this will help them no end in the future. We quite often see people playing with fingers that are angled like this, and this generally is a very natural lie of the hand when people play guitar. And as you can see, my fingers are kind of pointing, actually if I stretch them out they're pointing to my face, which you can't see, and this is a really common used technique by, for example, rock guitarists and so forth. But in the classical guitar and fingerstyle guitars where we're playing across the strings and more than one string at once, it's much more useful to have the fingers lying in this horizontal plane, so like going across the strings. And an easy way to demonstrate that is if I put a pencil in my fingers and my thumb is behind and the fingers are in front, you can see that my fingers are like what I call four in a line. They're just in a line all on the pencil there, so they're not facing downwards like this. I've just got it nice and horizontal in relation to the strings, and by using that type of technique, having the wrist not curled down but just twist the wrist round, just bring the elbow in, and we'll find that those fingers lie in a more horizontal plane. So let's play our first note. It's on string 3, which is the G string. 1, 2, 3. Children will be able to identify that now from the book. I'm just going to use Guitarist Way Book 1 here, but it's pretty common first fret to play for many other tutor books. So I'm on string 3 and I go fret 1, fret 2, so string 3, 1, start on the thin string, 2, 3, fret 1, fret 2. And as you can see, I've immediately put my finger to the edge of the fret, not the back, buzzy sound, but to the front of the fret. And the front, I'm talking the front as being closer to the body. Okay, back is back towards the guitar nut here and the tuning pegs. So I've got finger 2 on fret 2 of string 3, and I'll bring my hand into play here. It's difficult to see, but I'm just playing string 3. The other thing that is quite important is in that 4 in a line technique I showed with the pencil, so the fingers are more horizontal, you can see that it's my fingertip going down. I'm not playing flat like this. Okay, this is another technique that children really need to change immediately if they have the incorrect technique. I always just teach vertically come down, so I've got my fingers in a claw position like this, the thumb behind like that, and the fingers when they play will just come vertically down on the fingertips on the pad just beneath the nail. That is what will allow the finger to go nice clear definition on the string, and if I was to play the second string underneath, string 2, it will play as well. It will not be muted by a flat finger. A flat finger also has a better opportunity to just create a non-good contact and a buzzy sound. Okay, so the basic principles of this part of the lesson are: try to get the fingers to come round horizontals, just a small twist of the wrist, that's not going to hurt anybody, and then placing the finger vertically down. Okay, it just comes from the knuckle, big knuckle joint, it's like a little hammer going up and down. And that is our note A. You can see I've used finger 2 for fret 2 here, and when we play notes, for example C, which again will be the next book in Guitarist Way, on fret 1 of string 2, string 1, string 2, fret 1 C, open string B to C, it's the same principle. We just curl the hand around, fingertips, edge of frets. They're the three things that I really can't stop saying during lessons. Hand in the right position, edge of frets, fingertips. Note D, of course, will be fret 3 on string 2. Fret E, sorry, open string E is the first string. When we get to F, that will be on fret 1 of string 1, and G will be fret 3. These are a little bit more advanced from the basic ones, but the principle is all the same. The final thing I want to say here is most tutor books will offer an option for fret 3 playing on these higher strings, the G string, the B and the E. Strings 1, 2 and 3. You can use finger 3 or finger 4. The basic principle that's being taught and should be taught normally is that notes on fret 1 will be played in this lower end with finger 1, on fret 2, finger 2, and on fret 3, finger 3. For little hands, little children, finger 4 can also be used for the fret 3 notes on these higher strings. It's more comfortable for them to play with finger 4. The final thing I want to say is when playing low bass notes, it's the same principles apply. We push the wrist through to get a vertical finger, and I want to talk about really the 3 bass notes that we play a lot, which is open string E, the very low E string, fret 1 for the F, so that'll be finger 1. And when we come to play on the 3 steel wound strings, I always ask students to play with finger 3, not finger 4, because now it's too hard for other fingers to come down to play on the higher strings. So if your child is asking, well, I just want to use finger 1 on the low strings here, for example the G or the C or the B, generally just try to remind them that, you know, a good teacher really will be saying it's 1 finger per fret. Yeah, fret 1, finger 1, finger 2, fret 2, finger 3, fret 3 for the low 6, 5 and 4 strings, and when we come to the higher strings just use either 3 or 4 for those notes. It just depends. Those will be covered more in classes for a specific song, and we'll decide which specific finger is the best one to use. So I was asked a question the other day. When playing on the bass notes, someone said, well, I just like to play finger 1 and just move along. And I said, well, that's fine. If you're going to play a note and it works, and you just use a finger like that, that's fine. You can see I'm just moving my hand. But there lies the problem. If you keep moving the hand all the time, the other fingers don't know where they are in relation to the strings. So whilst it might be good as a fun little thing to do, or a very simple exercise, just a little walking exercise, that might be good fun to do with a finger 1, but in real terms there's a lot less hand movement if we do 3, 2, 1, open, 3, 1, 2, 3. The fingers know where they are in relation to which frets, and that's important. So I always ask parents to see if really the children can use the frets, the fingers, for the fingers that have been noted for the correct frets. It's normally next to the note on the music score with a string and a finger number or a fret number to do that. Okay, so I'll leave the lesson there. That's just some of the basic fundamentals of getting a good left hand technique, of course if you're right-handed, to play on the frets so we get no buzzing sounds. And good luck with that.